Hi, this is Reality-ish, the channel where we cross out the ish and get right down to reality. This video is about pet peeves, the things that just make you want to scream. So I'm going to get right down to it because I just had one of those moments, one of those screaming moments where no matter what you do, it just gets under your skin. It's like fingernails on the chalkboard or something. One of my main pet peeves just happened. A phone call. Someone calls, lets my phone ring. I don't get to the phone in time. They hang up. No voice message. Nothing. They just hang up. So I check the number. I don't recognize the number. So I go about my business. Later that day, I get a message. And that person says to me, I've been trying to call you over and over again. Why didn't you return my phone call? What? What do you mean, why did I not return your phone call? Did you leave me a message? Did you say hello? Did you say, this is so-and-so, call me back? Did you say anything at all? Did you tell me where I can even just go? Or what I can even just do? Did you say anything at all? Did you just leave your number? Did you say, call the number back on your caller ID? No, you hung up. Yet, you're mad at me. You're yelling at me. You're going off on me. You expect me to apologize to you for something that I did not do. You expect for me to apologize to you because you called me and you hung up. Well, first of all, I feel that if you called me and number one, you don't have the common courtesy or the decency to leave a message, you do not deserve a return phone call. Number two, if you call me and you don't leave a voice message, that tells me that apparently your phone call wasn't that important after all. Because if it was important, I'm pretty sure you would have said, could you please call me back? This is Sally Sue. This is Joe Blue. Could you please return the phone call? I'd like to speak to you. Or you could just simply say, could you please call this number back? I'm trying to reach you. But yet, you expect me to just randomly call you back as if I'm sitting here waiting on anonymous phone calls just to return them. As if I have your specific phone number embedded in my brain so that when you call, I'm going to hurry up and call you back, of course, because you need a return phone call because you're important. Well, my time is important, and I don't have time to go through missed calls on my phone and call them back to find out who I missed a call from or to find out who's on the other end or who called, who didn't care enough about me, my feelings, and my time to leave a message. You get mad at me. You go off on me. You want an explanation from me when in reality, you were the one that called me and didn't leave a message. Didn't even say hi. This is Sally Sue. Hi, this is Joe Blue. Even if you didn't leave a message and you just said your name, or even if you didn't leave a message and you just said your number, any of the above would have been fine. But please don't call me and go off on me because I didn't return a missed phone call. You shouldn't even assume that I have caller ID. You shouldn't even assume that I saw your message. You shouldn't assume that apparently you're the only person calling me, so I only have one missed call, so naturally I should call you back. You shouldn't assume because we all know what that does. Pet peeve number 2 on the phone calls. Please, people, do not call me. My phone rings. Ring, ring. I say hello, and you go, who is this? Well, you called me. Don't you think you ought to know who this is? Who's calling? And don't get upset with me when you called me and you said, who is this? And I said, well, who do you want to speak to? Because if I answer my phone and I say hello, then you should say either hello back, or you should say, hello, may I speak to Sally Sue? Hello, may I speak to Joe Blue? Not, who is this? Because that shows a little bit something about your intelligence, because you're the one that made the phone call, so you should know who you're calling. And if by chance the person, be it myself or someone else, answers a phone and you don't recognize the phone voice, the person on the other end, you don't recognize them, you shouldn't say, who is this? You should say, hello, may I speak to? May I speak to Sally Sue? May I speak to Joe Blue? You shouldn't get mad at me and want me to give you information that you should already have. After all, you have the number, you dial the number. You should know who you're calling. Do not call people and say, who is this? You should know who you're calling. Your manners matter even when you're on the phone. Just because you can't get punched out because you're not in person doesn't mean that you shouldn't behave yourself. Because you know if you were standing in my face, you wouldn't act that way. See, people hide behind their phones. They hide behind the internet. Oh my God, let's not go there talking about hiding behind the internet. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother pet peeve, a whole nother time. These two pet peeves right here are enough to make me blow my stack. I just want to scream when people assume that I should call them back because I see that I have a missed call. As I said before, apparently whatever you called me for was not that important. Apparently, you knew who you were calling, you had the number, so don't call me and say, who is this? Proper phone etiquette should be used at all times. If you want a return call, ask for it, or don't expect one. If you want a return phone call, leave your phone number. Don't assume that the person gets it on their caller ID. What if I get 20 or 30 phone calls? Am I supposed to sort through them looking for you because you're important, but you didn't think enough of me to leave me a message? Don't assume, people. Please don't assume. And when you call someone and they say hello, the polite thing to do, people, is to say hello back. Not, who is this? Not, who am I speaking to? You called me. You initiated the phone call first. So therefore, you should at least say hello. And if you don't recognize the person on the other end of the phone, then maybe you should just explain yourself. You could just say something as simple as, oh, hello, I'm sorry, I was calling my sister, but apparently I might have the wrong number. Is this Sally Sue's number by chance? Because maybe, just maybe, I was busy and I asked Mary Ann, Mary, could you pick up my phone for me, please? Could you answer the call for me so that I won't miss it? Because my hands are full, because I'm trying to get out of my car or into my car. So I asked someone, could you grab that? And they just simply say the polite thing, hello. So don't say, who is this? Say, oh, I was trying to reach Sally Sue. Or I was trying to reach Joe Blue. And maybe that way you'll get a response. A polite response. instead of me going right back off on you. Because if you go off on me in that manner by calling my telephone number and saying, who is this? Then surely I'm going to say, who do you want to speak to? You ought to know who you were calling when you picked up the phone. So don't call my number and say, who is this? So if you want a nice response, you need to start the conversation off that way. Because your response that you're given from me will be directly in relationship to how you started the conversation. So please, people, number one, do not assume that because you called someone, they know who you are and they will return the phone call simply because they see that they have a missed call. And number two, do not call people and say, who is this? You need to call people and say, hello, may I speak to Sally Sue? Or hello, may I speak to Joe Blue? That's it for now. That's all the reality I have for you today. Until next time, the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Have a good one. Love you.